Ultimate fitness hack or total gym fail? Can this one piece of home gym equipment be a swap for the gym? In this video, I venture to explore the Joysong Home Gym Cube Rower, which is a rower that converts into a cube, and also a home gym that converts into a cube. Now, I've notoriously heard that rowers are difficult to set up in home gym spaces, especially apartment home gym spaces where you may have to bring something upstairs that's very long and hard to assemble. So for that reason, I've kind of held back on getting one. But this Joysong Home Gym Rower was too good to pass up, and I had to give this a shot because of the concept being so unique, that it is so compact and aesthetically pleasing and has all these other features. It was checking all the boxes. So I've now had it for a couple of weeks and have had the chance to utilize it for several workouts and have really explored all of its different capabilities. And I'm feeling ready to share my review with you guys about what I thought utilizing this piece of equipment. And there are definitely some pros and definitely some cons. And I'll even share towards the end of this video who I really think this type of equipment would be ideal for and who it might not be suitable for. So let's kick it off with the pros of this pros and cons list. Pro number one, it's incredibly compact and fits in my apartment seamlessly. One of the challenges I have of living in an apartment space is that there's not much room, and pretty much every room needs to be multi-purpose. When this machine is not in use and it's folded up in its compact form, it's really only taking up as much space as like a tiny stool, and a beautiful stool at that. It's really well designed. It has this nice wood finished exterior on the sides. It just looks pretty for a piece of home gym equipment. So again, because my home gym space is also my dining room, is also my home office, it needs to be something that's not going to be a huge eyesore in the background of my existence. Diving a little bit deeper into this, I really do think from a design perspective, they really paid attention to what it's going to look like as a piece of just furniture in your household. It's not too feminine, it's not too masculine, it's a nice blend that can fit really well aesthetically into any place. 10 out of 10 for style points. Another feature that kind of goes under this umbrella of it being compact and really great for apartment and home gym use is that it is incredibly maneuverable. When in its folded up cube form, there's a little handle that you can easily crank on one side of the machine, and it literally extends and drops down wheels at the bottom of the base of the cube, and you can maneuver this easily around your apartment without any problem. Oftentimes with wheels on fitness equipment, it can feel kind of bulky and it's hard to move around corners or to change directions. This pivots beautifully. You can spin the thing around in circles, so you can really swivel this into any spot you'd like it to be when you're storing it. And then when you're ready to use the machine, you take the crank, reverse it the other way, and the wheels go back into the machine drops down and stably sits on the ground. That's pretty cool. All right, so let's discuss pro number two. And that is that you get access to an extensive training library along with this rower. This particular rower from Joysong connects to the KetoMap app, which grants you access to over 40,000 different workouts in the app from world-class coaches around the world. On the app, you can change up different scenes that you're rowing to, different parts of the world that you're in, and different competitions you can engage in through the app. Speaking of syncing data, something else that I really love is that the KetoMap app connects to Apple Health, and Apple Health for me connects to other trackers that I'm utilizing like Whoop or MyFitnessPal and different platforms that I use and recommend to my clients often. So I love that there's a data syncing capability across different platforms. All right, so let's discuss the third pro for the Joysong Home Gym Cube Rower. And that is you can perform multiple exercises on this one piece of equipment, right? That's one of my favorite things about it is that really it's not just a rower, it is also a home gym. You have cable attachments, you have an incline bench, you have a pull-out seat, and there's a lot of cool stuff and a lot of cool movements to explore on this machine. Some of my favorite movements that I've been loving these past few weeks, utilizing the home gym features of this cube rower, have been using it for chest flies, for rows, for bicep curls even. There's also another cable attachment towards the bottom, and it comes with an ankle strap so you can do glute med kickbacks. Like I said, there's a lot of different exercises you can perform on here. Those are just some of my favorites that I've really loved to incorporate lately. But because the cable attachment arms are so versatile and you can really move them in a multitude of directions from all the way vertical to sideways to all the way positioned at the bottom, there's just a large variety of exercises you can do. Just as you can change the resistance for the rower, you can also change the resistance on the machine for the cables that you're utilizing for the home gym exercises. I increased the resistance all the way up to the max, which is about 40 kilograms of weight loaded. and it was very hard to do the chest fly with that. So as far as making sure that there's enough resistance for really strong folks out there, this has got it covered. But of course, if you're not the Incredible Hulk and you want to lower the resistance, you can also do that too if you're working your way up in these strength movements. The cool thing with the pull-out seat is that you can always get creative with how to utilize that as well. I used it for doing some step-ups, some glute bridges, and even Bulgarian split squats. So there's really a lot there. Now, no product is perfect, which is why it's important that I also talk to you guys about some of the things that were not my favorite about this machine, even though it is pretty damn cool. Number one, it is heavy. I only live on the second floor. I could not imagine carrying this box up more floors than just one floor. Now, I've gotten fitness equipment shipped to me before. You guys have seen, again, the Nordic Hyper and some other pieces of equipment I have. Those things are heavy. Those were manageable to get up the stairs. This, I definitely needed help. My husband had to come to the rescue and help me get that up the stairs, but once it was there, we were good to go. So if you are somebody who lives up multiple flights of stairs, do not have elevator access, and maybe don't have someone nearby you that can help you bring this package up, it might be a tough one for you. So let's dive into con number 2 about this machine. And if you're looking for a flawless rowing experience or a flawless home cable gym experience, this probably isn't going to meet your expectations. With a lot of multifunctional pieces of equipment, you're not gonna get the best experience out of each component of that machine, just because the design features are more so geared for its multifunctionality and its compact nature, right? Than necessarily like the best user experience for each movement on that machine. That's not always the case, but in particular for this piece of equipment, I found that to be true. However, for most of the things it does, it gets the job done. Is it gonna be the most smooth and flawless cable training experience you've ever had? No. Is it gonna be like 80 to 90% there? Sure. And for most people, that's good enough, especially considering its compact nature and that it looks nice too. But specifically as far as like what didn't feel like top notch when utilizing this machine for certain movements, I'll break it down this way. Let's start with the rowing experience. So the first thing that I noticed when I was rowing is that with professional rowing machines or rowing machines you'd see at the gym, I guess maybe you'd call them commercial rowing machines, there's a degree at which you can reach farther forward and really get a full flexion and extension in that movement of rowing. With this machine, I felt like I was limited somewhat in the forward motion. The handles would reach the front and I still had more room I could go to really yank and pull and get a full row in. So if you're looking for a machine where you're gonna get a full rowing experience, you're gonna be kind of stopped short a little bit in that full stride of a row. Again, not a huge deal breaker for someone like me who's not necessarily an avid rower, but just utilizes a rowing machine for exercise. This is gonna do it, it'll be fine. But it was something I noticed when I first hopped on it. Now moving to talking about the home gym side of it with the cables that you can do the chest flies and the incline bench and all of that. One thing I noticed is that sometimes if I didn't move the cable perfectly, in the movement range of motion that maybe I was supposed to and created a little variability in there, the cable necessarily wouldn't stay in the little pulley. Not that it was a huge deal. I could just feel like, oh, this is feeling a little weird on the left side. Oh, okay, got it. It kind of hopped off that little pulley. Once I got used to the tension that I was putting on the cables themselves and how it worked with the magnetic resistance, it ran a lot smoother for me. But that was just something initially where I was like, oh, something to pay attention to for first-time users. And if I didn't play around with it a little more, I could have been left with a more negative impression of it. But once I figured out how to utilize the cables and really use the correct angles for each motion I was trying to do, it stayed in place just fine. One more small con about this machine is that it is really easy to take out, unfold, put back together. However, it wasn't as easy as I wanted it to be because there are some screws that need to be taken out and put in, every time that you're extending the rower or packing the rower up. Now, is it more than 5 minutes to do? No, it's not. Is it just one of those things that's like slightly annoying? Yes. But is it worth the multifunctionality and how compact this rower is? Also yes. So there's a slight annoyance of having to realign and add these screws into the foot plate and to parts of the rower to get it to hold in that position and stay stable. But again, it comes along with the pro of it folding up really nicely and being compact. So I will take the compact nature for a couple minutes of having to put these screws in to just set the rower out. So who might this Joysong home gym cube rower be good for? I would say if you're somebody who is looking to build out a home gym space that is also convertible, for example, like my home gym space that, like I mentioned, is also my office and my dining room, where I need pieces that really fold away completely and are somewhat unnoticeable. They're not huge eyesores to a room. This is gonna be a great option. You're gonna be able to get a variety of exercises in. You're gonna be able to pack that machine away, and it looks really nice wherever you situate it in the room. I think it's a pretty solid home gym addition for folks like that. Now, if you're somebody who really wants the best rowing experience or the best cable experience, this probably isn't going to be your jam. The perks of this machine really come down to its compact nature and its aesthetic design for it to be something that is easy to just kind of fold away and not take up a lot of space. But if you have the space in a home gym setup, maybe you have a basement or a garage and you don't mind having multiple pieces of equipment around, then it might be better to just get a solid water rower and, a standard cable machine where you're gonna get, the full experience that you really want out of those devices. For someone like me, that's not feasible. I need something that is going to be compact, that is going to roll away, that's not going to look terrible in my room. So I do really like the Joysong cube rower for this reason. And aside from that, as somebody who is an ACLer and has gone through ACL surgery, rowing is just a really great motion for my knee. It's low impact. It helps me get good flexion and extension throughout the day. So this is a great way for me to continuously improve my knee condition throughout my years of recovery. If you're interested in trying out the Joysong home gym cube rower, then I'll go ahead and put the link down below in the description for you. And if you have any questions about my experience with the rower, go ahead and put them down in the comments below. I'll make sure to try to get back to you as soon as I can. As a health coach, I'm always an advocate for trying to get movement into your daily routines. It truly is just a very huge cornerstone to overall well-being. And it doesn't always have to be rigorous physical training. It can be just gentle movement or something that aligns more so with what your body needs and what your goals are. And if you want to get more clarity and understanding about what that looks like for you, then shoot me a message and we'll chat about it. Well, you guys, that is the end of this video review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. I so appreciate each and every one of you guys. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my new uploads. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye.